Hey folks, welcome to Suite 301. I'm Sandy Sanderson. I'm filling in for Christian Smith. Don't worry, we didn't fire him. He's just couldn't make it today. Had a prior engagement out of the office. So I'm just going to do my best to, fill his shoes. Big shoes to fill, though. Hey, welcome. We appreciate you tuning in to Suite 301. This is our monthly webcast, podcast. I don't even know what the technical term is for it. But we're going to get together. We're going to talk about all aspects of Colt Club sports. And, for those of you that have been around, it's May, which means a couple things. One, the World Series. Two, we don't sleep. So let's get at it. We're officially live on Facebook. And, of course, you can always watch our broadcast through all our Facebook group pages. So remember to follow our Facebook group and our Twitter page accounts. There'll be with May being here, especially on the baseball and softball end with national championships, regional playoffs these past couple weekends. There's lots of action on social media, so definitely stay tuned. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Colt Club Sports, for videos from around the league and watch previous episodes of Suite 301. So, all right, without further ado, we're going to get Savannah on the line. We're going to get Savannah Aarons on the line, VP of Softball Operations, and we're going to dive right into some softball action because the softball.
Hello.
Hey, Savannah, how are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm excellent. It's May. We depart tomorrow morning. I think it's 6 a.m. So, I'm running on adrenaline right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're leaving tomorrow as well to head down to Georgia, correct?
Yep. All the staff arrives tomorrow in Atlanta. Atlanta.
Good time. The Softball World Series is always a good time. I love Columbus, Georgia. Unfortunately, it's been a couple years since I've been able to get down there. My presence has been needed in Kansas for the D2 World Series. But say hello to all my good pals down there in Columbus.
I will, 100%. David Boyd will be wishing you well in Pittsburgh.
Maybe we'll have to FaceTime.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, okay. Let's pencil that in the calendar. All right, so let's talk softball. Talk to me about regional playoffs and so forth. We got some exciting stuff coming on with the World Series, but talk to me about the road to the World Series.
Road to the World Series. Well, regional playoffs went great. It was an exciting weekend of softball. We definitely had some upsets, especially in the North Atlantic, where we had two at-large bids attending that playoff, and both of those at-large bids couldn't burst to the World Series. So neither of the first-place conference teams that competed in that tournament will be represented at World Series. It was the two at-large bids, so that being Rutgers and Delaware. So we're really excited that tournament was so close. And then in the Mid-Atlantic, we had the Naval Academy taking down, Powerhouse JMU, who's won that regional playoff the past 4 years. So the Naval Academy is going to be making their way back to Columbus. They haven't been back for a few years, so we're excited to see them. And I know we'll be talking to Niagara's president here soon, but they placed second in the New England Regional behind Northeastern, and they'll be making their first ever World Series appearance. So we're really excited to see them in Columbus. All the way from Buffalo down to Columbus, Georgia. Going to be exciting to see.
Yes, that will be exciting. Niagara's a good school with a great relationship or history with us, but to get a team into the postseason, that's a great accomplishment for their program. So congratulations to them. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, you talk about all the way from Buffalo. We got some teams coming even further than Buffalo to Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego State. First year as a team in the league. Going to be coming all the way from San Diego. And then UC Davis, who is a usual participant in the World Series, coming from all the way from Davis, California. They're hoping to stamp their name on it this year and make a big run. But I think San Diego State's going to have a lot in their bag for everybody. So I'm interested to see. Nobody's ever seen them play. This is their first year in the league, so very exciting to see that. And then up in the Great Lakes, Grand Valley and Central Michigan, coming from that same Great Lakes East Conference, are both going to be representing, but this will be Central Michigan's first World Series appearance ever. So we've got a lot of new teams. It's exciting.
Cool. And that's, just to touch on something you mentioned there, what I love is that as the league's continuing to grow, a few more teams get more exposure, get to the World Series, and they come home hungry for it. So everybody, I've seen over the years, it just seems like everybody comes into the league now with their A game, trying to chase down that spot into the playoffs. And like you mentioned about Rutgers and Delaware, if you can get in the tournament, everybody's got a shot. So congratulations to them taking full advantage of their opportunity there.
Absolutely. A great example is Northeastern's team, who made the World Series for the very first time last year, and they are hungry this year. It is unbelievable the preparation that they've done this past summer and in through the fall and into the spring, and they are hungry, and they know what kind of competition to expect now. So they plan on doing, much better than they did their first World Series appearance, because they have the experience. So they're really excited to make a stamp on it, and everybody is looking to give Arkansas State a run for their money as they try to repeat as national champs.
Right. Now let's look the other direction. Who are some of the old hats that didn't make it this year?
Air Force is a usual participant. They haven't made it the past 2 years. Virginia Tech, crazy enough, didn't even qualify for the postseason, so they didn't even make it to their regional playoffs, which is, it's going to be interesting not seeing them there. And University, Florida is a team we're used to seeing at the World Series, won't be there. So, very interesting. Penn State, your alma mater.
Yep.
They placed first in their conference and couldn't take it down against Rutgers and Delaware. So very interesting to see. And that just that's a testament to the competition level of the across the board. It's just raised so high now that it's literally anybody's ball game any day.
Nice. All right. Well, I actually have the latest May top 20 poll in front of me as well, and I see Navy listed at number 1. And
yes.
Wow, they've always been a quality program. If you don't bring your A game against Navy, they're going to beat you. And to see them currently ranked number 1 in the country, that's impressive. They must be putting together quite a season.
Yes, and they've been ranked number 1 in the country for practically the entire season. They've just had a run. They had a great run this fall, and obviously proved themselves in the regional tournament, placing first. Ahead of JMU, who's a perennial powerhouse. Obviously, they were a 2-time back-to-back NCSA World Series champion. So they have definitely put their mark on this season, and we'll see if they're able to close it out as national champions. They've never been national champions before, so I know that they're hungry.
Right, and with that exposure means you're going to get everybody's best, because they know it's not a fluke that you get that number 1 ranking. Going into the World Series, though, that they snagged the number 2 seed in the poll, or not in the polls, number 2 seed in the pool play behind defending champ Arkansas State. So talk to us about the World Series, opening round matchups that you're looking forward to. Is there a pool that you think's stronger, and when does everything kick off?
Oh, so everything kicks off, Thursday night. I wish it was Thursday already. Thursday night is going to be the coaches' meeting, and then we start play at 10 a.m. on Friday morning for pool play, and we'll have three rounds of pool play. I'm very excited this year because the pools are very evenly spread out. There is no pool that I think is stronger than the other. I think every single pool is going to be highly competitive, so that's really exciting for everybody that's going to be down in Columbus, because there's going to be good softball going around on 8 fields at the exact same time. So really excited to see that and see where the seeding falls out for double elimination to start on Saturday.
One of the things I always remember about the softball World Series is some games get over in an hour, 10 minutes. Some go to extra innings, but it seems like people will, with 8 fields going on, obviously the games that are lasting longer are the ones that have the most drama in them. So it seems like everyone will flock to field 4 because there's some crazy upset going in the mix, or someone's throwing a no-hitter on field 5 and everyone flocks over there. Is that still the general occurrence there at the World Series?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm expecting quite a bit of that this season, this World Series, just because the competition level is so high, and especially, like I said, these pools are so evenly matched that there's going to be a lot of that back and forth, run changes. The pitching is going to be really good this year. We're excited about that. So we're excited to see if Arkansas State's going to pull it out or if we're going to have a new champion this year.
All right. Well, I look forward to following along online. I'll be in the press box out in Pittsburgh, Kansas. But I'll be, probably giving some out-of-town score updates over the PA system out there, letting people know what's going on with the Softball World Series. All right, Sabs.
Sounds great.
Travel safe tomorrow, Sabs. Thanks for joining us on the show, and good luck at the World Series.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye. All right, that's Savannah. She's in prep for the Softball World Series, which starts on Friday morning. Lots to do down there, running such a big event with 8 fields. That's a lot of banner signage to hang up, a lot of prep work to get done on Thursday during setup day. So best of luck to her and safe travels to her and her staff as they get down there and put on another great first-class national championship. All right, we're going to be joined here shortly by Abby Hibsch. I'm going to assume I'm pronouncing that right, Hibsch, of the Niagara team, the Niagara softball team, who's making their first World Series appearance. So we look forward to having Abby here on the line here shortly. While we do it, just to give you an update on the most recent top 20 poll, we got Navy at 1, Arkansas State at 2, Florida State's 3, Northeastern 4, Illinois 5. All right, I think we got Abby here. Is this Abby?
It is.
Abby, Sandy Sanderson, welcome to Suite 301.
Hi, thanks.
It's good to have you on. First-time caller, I believe, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations to you and your Niagara teammates. What a season you guys are putting together here, clinching your first ever World Series berth.
Yeah, it's been a crazy season, but definitely paid off.
Is the administration, is the school, is the student body getting behind you guys? Like, have you gotten some publicity about this accomplishment so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Our student government helped us out a lot. Originally, when we found out that we were going to be able to go to nationals, we needed some help financially. So myself and Maria, our vice president on our team, went to one of their student government meetings and told them all about nationals and how excited we were, and they were able to fund the majority of our trip, actually. And since then, it's kind of been all over. All of our professors know about it. The dean, everybody has been congratulating us, and they're so excited to see us go down south and play with all these huge schools.
Well, it's going to be it's going to be an adventure. You're going to have a blast down there, first of all. But second, you're going to see the best softball competition you've ever seen in your life. So make sure you and the girls are ready.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to me about
really hard lately, so we're hoping it pays off.
Absolutely. Now talk to me about your season so far. Like, was there any point? Was there a point in the season when you realized you have a team that might be World Series worthy?
Right. So at the end of our season last year, we had made it to regionals, and we did pretty decent. But coming back this fall, we thought, you know what, this team is going to be great this year. We just knew that regionals was definitely in the picture, and beyond that, who knows? So our fall season went pretty well. We were 7-2, and then the spring came along, and we were supposed to play the University of Rochester and St. Bonaventure, and both of those game days got rained out, so we actually didn't play at all this spring, and we were able to get the at-large bid to go to regionals. So our first games since the middle of October were at regionals, where we have to go and do playoffs without having seen a field in 7 months, which is crazy. So we got to regionals, and we played our first game against Northeastern, which was a little rough, but we picked it up, and we played really well for the rest of regionals and secured our spot to go to nationals. It was awesome, and we couldn't be more excited to be going.
It's been a crazy spring for weather, not just in club softball, but club baseball too. Lots of, pretty much anybody above the Mason-Dixon line's been having just terrible weather and so many cancellations. So the fact that your girls were able to come out after basically 7 months off the field and get thrown right into playoff action and succeed, that's great. So congratulations on that. Hopefully you're getting outside a little more before you hit the road this week to go down to Georgia. Was there any point in the season where you were worried that maybe the season was going to get derailed and you wouldn't get to the postseason?
Yeah, definitely. So there was a really scary week at one point where the deadline to play our games had just passed, and we had been rained out every single weekend, weren't able to get any games in, but somehow Buffalo was able to get in some games, and they bumped themselves ahead of us and were in first place. We were originally in first place, and they bumped themselves ahead of us. And we were in second place, and we were really worried because we'd worked so hard to go to regionals, and we wanted to go so bad, but we just lost our spot, and there was really nothing we could do about it. So we really thought for a few days there that our season was really going to be over, and especially for our graduating seniors, it was really sad because it's like we just played our last game in October and had no idea that that was going to be our last game. So for a while, we were really scared that, that was going to be it, and then I got the call from Savannah telling us that we got the at-large bid, and everyone was screaming and jumping for joy. It was really an awesome moment for our team.
Awesome. Well, that's great. That's great. I love that you guys are bringing that much passion to it, and that's what it takes. It's it's a sport. You got to have fun doing it. You got to have skill to be successful, but you got to bring the passion to you bring out the best in everybody. So I'm holding the bracket, the World Series bracket right here. You're in Pool B. So you open up your tournament with Grand Valley State out of Michigan, another northern school, probably in a similar situation as you weather-wise. Then you face off with Navy, currently ranked number one team in the country, so that's going to be a challenge. And then you conclude pool play with Clemson, a team that's probably hasn't had any issues getting outside on the ball field this year. Is there a team there that most intrigues you about your opening day matchups?
We're definitely intrigued with the whole Naval Academy situation. We pulled up the bracket as soon as it was sent out, and we were like, did you guys see we're playing the Naval Academy? And it's definitely, it was nerve-wracking at first because it's like we're this little small school from Western New York with 3,000 undergrad, and we're going to be playing schools like Navy and Clemson, and it's crazy, but we're honestly just really excited to have that opportunity, and I think we are a little nervous to a certain extent, but more than anything, we're just excited to go down south and represent our little tiny school with all these big names.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you, before I let you go, I'm going to give you a little tip, a little tourism tip.
All right.
While you're in Columbus, Georgia, first of all, you got to give a hug to David Boyd. Find David Boyd, give him a hug. He'll love you for the rest of the tournament. He's one of the executives down there with Visit Columbus. But also, little secret in town: the scramble dog. The scramble dog. It's a food. It's a chopped up hot dog with chili in it, and it's a Columbus tradition. So make sure you and the girls get one of those, and you'll love it.
All right, we definitely will.
All right, Abby. Well, thanks for calling into the show. Congratulations, safe travels this week, and best of luck at the World Series.
Thanks so much for having us on the show.
No problem. Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, well, that's going to wrap up our softball portion of the show. We are going to be back in just a minute to talk about the National Club Baseball Association, what's going on there. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
The Game is the official headwear sponsor of Cole Club Sports. They offer an early order discount to all of our leagues on top of their already low prices. Go to thegameheadwear.com and check out their wide selection of on-the-field hats, off-the-field beanies, and visors. Contact Felicia Battaglia at coleclubsports.com for all of your headwear needs.
Avis is the proud rental car partner of Cole Club Sports. From compact cars to 15-passenger vans, Avis has it all. Teams and players receive exclusive pricing and the waiver of the 25 or younger driver fee. For more information on how to reserve your vehicles, contact Alex Kane today. alex.kane@coleclubsports.com.
And we're back to talk about baseball. And I'm joined here on my left with Eric Curator, Director of Division II Baseball Operations. But before we get to D2, Eric, why don't you give us caught up a little bit on what's going on in D3? Because D3 World Series starts this Friday as well.
Correct. Their district playoffs were this past weekend, so we got 4 teams. The weather cooperated for Alex Kane here, and he's got his 4 teams: New Hampshire, Adrian College, West Georgia, and Missouri S&T. And you got a bracket here. I don't know the seeds off the top of my head. We got New Hampshire taking on Missouri S&T, Adrian, and West Georgia. From my standpoint as the D2 guy, it's kind of nice to see some former D2 teams succeeding at the Division III level.
Teams that struggled at D2 got to move down,
Yes.
which was the goal of D3.
Exactly. So they're in a good spot. They got momentum going with them. They got success, and sure one day we'll see them back in D2. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's good for them.
And for those of you at home that aren't familiar with the new, D3 is new to us. This is our first year at D3. It's unlike our D1 and D2. It's a 4-team World Series tournament, straight double elimination, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, being hosted in DuBois, Pennsylvania.
Showers Field. Yep.
Showers Field, where we hosted the
New Penn Regional.
New
for
Penn
D2.
Regional for D2. And from what I heard from the teams, they thought that facility was unbelievable.
It's beautiful. Fully turf, scoreboard, grandstand. I mean, the whole 9 yards. It's
So-
beautiful.
Yeah, so excited to see how that goes down. Alex will be up there for the weekend, getting that going. And I've seen, I've been following on Twitter a little bit. A lot of these teams, in D3 are pumped about this.
Yeah.
It's their national championship. They've gotten this. I've seen, articles being written about the New Hampshire team, focusing on certain kids from, what they did in high school and things like that, and how they've got this opportunity too. So that's great. So we're excited to see how those guys, everything shakes out there. We've certainly got teams from all over the South, the Northeast. Adrian's in Michigan, Missouri, so the Midwest. It looks like DuBois is going to be a great fit for.
Yeah, kind of
Central.
just to pick off what you were saying, there is a good buzz going on Twitter. I see Adrian tweeting, a lot of other teams tweeting, a lot of good excitement for the event. So it's a national championship for them. Why shouldn't there be?
Absolutely, and we just expect D3 to grow even more next year, and really solidify this as another great step in the NCBA process. So best of luck to those teams heading to DuBois this weekend. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll be talking. We'll probably get one of you on the show next month to talk about your national championship run. So, all right. Well, let's transition over to D2 a little bit, Eric. What's going on there? I mean, talk to me about your district playoffs. Who's made the World Series? What do we got?
Yeah, so we'll be leaving tomorrow, as you mentioned, for Pittsburgh, Kansas, making the track out there. 2 weeks ago, we had our regional playoffs. They went well for the most part. We had some weather issues here and there, but we got our 8 winners. A lot of good baseball. We got a good group of 18 for our World Series. Just to run down the list real quick. Cal U out of PA, Metro State University, Pittsburgh State University, which is kind of cool because the World Series is held in their town, Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Right.
So we got the local team. South Dakota State, San Diego State, Siena College, and St. Joe's, and finally Longwood. So by my count, we have 7 first-timers. Longwood was there back in 2011.
Back in Johnstown, PA.
Yeah, 2011, 12, 1 and
It's
2.
a long time ago.
Long time ago. So none of those kids were around, obviously. So we got a lot of brand new faces to the event, a lot of excitement. Same idea, a lot of kids tweeting, a lot of good buzz going around the city, especially with Pittsburgh State making it. So.
Right. And we had 3 teams that went to last year's World Series move up to D1,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So, it sort of cleared the way for, some new teams to step up and get their chance and prove themselves on this stage. And like you said, the Pittsburgh State is very intriguing to me because literally, again, following, doing the Twitter stalking, there's been their Twitter account's very active, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, which is very
and they've
cool.
been pushing a lot of stuff that I guess the local news channels have been running stories about them. A lot of the kids grew up. That was their home high school field.
Yeah, I believe
JC
7 or
Ballpark.
8 kids have played in that before. Their school accounts tweeting stuff at us, which is pretty cool. Their alumni association.
So I'm very curious to see what kind of turnout we have.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know you guys down at D1 last year when ECU made it, which they made it again this year. We'll talk about later. But, a lot of locals came out, a lot of, only an hour away for ECU, but now Pitt State's, right there. So
And I foresee, and this might be a warning to, who do they open up with? Pitt State opens up with Siena.
Yeah. Who we're going to talk to in a little bit here.
Yeah, and, those parents might want to get to the ballpark early because if it fills up with Pittsburgh State people, it might become a standing room only event. So could be exciting. We'll see.
A lot of good buzz around there, for sure.
Let's talk about Cal U real quick. If I'm correct, are they undefeated?
They are undefeated.
Number 1 seed, ranked number 1 in the country, getting 299 point votes out of 300.
Yeah, very impressive. I know Joe and Alex, when they ran the regional, they said they were extremely impressive. Pitching, hitting, small ball. They do all the right things. So I'm excited to see them play. I haven't seen them yet. Obviously, their record shows they're doing all the right things. So.
And
Should be
they
a good
knocked
team.
off the current, at the time, number 1 Penn State.
Penn
too,
State,
right?
yep,
So
exactly.
who's been to what? Every World Series?
Yeah,
Every D2 World Series? So.
Seems like it. So, yeah, they're exciting, and the other undefeated team is South Dakota State. So, excited for them. I know they're extremely excited, too. They're a newer team in the Division II. So.
Then we got San Diego State,
San
Tony
Diego
Gwynn's
State,
old squad.
Yep, Steven Strasburg, I think, as well. Metro State should be exciting. And Siena, who we're going to talk to in a little bit here, second year in the league. And they have quite the story at the regional from, coming back, big deficits against SUNY Binghamton, the number 1 seed, who was, I believe, top 5 in the country all year. So we'll talk to Brendan about that in a little bit here. But, it's a great story for them. I'm really excited. I know they're really excited. Same thing with Longwood, St. Joe's, and everybody else I didn't touch on. But, it's going to be great. We're leaving tomorrow morning. Game starts Friday. Got good weather, knock on wood. Should be a good event. I'm excited. It's going to be our 4th year there.
I love it. It's the one event where I do the PA announcing. Oh, I'll get more to that after we talk to Brendan. Brendan, Sandy Sanderson, Eric from Suite 301. Welcome.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Brandon,
Awesome.
what's going on, man?
Not much. Getting ready.
Yeah? When you guys heading out?
Tomorrow night we leave from school, drive to Boston, and then get a direct flight from Boston to Kansas City.
Nice. Well, that's maybe not going to be the most fun trip, It's going to be worth it. It's exciting for you guys to make the World Series. I was touching with Sandy before about, your guys' regional playoff. Let's kind of revisit that real quick. You guys had some really, exciting games. SUNY Binghamton, just to throw up there, you guys get mercied, I believe, in game 1 or game 2, and then you come back and double dip them. Yeah, game 2. And you come back and double dip them from the losers bracket. And I believe you were down 8 runs in both games. Talk about that real quick.
It was crazy. We go down early in the second game, and we're trying not to get down on ourselves thinking about the first game. We know we belong there. We've won 2 other games already. We go down 8 runs. I think it was the top of the 5th or top of the 6th inning. They bring in a new pitcher. He walks the bases loaded, hits me to load the bases. They bring in a new guy. He walks the first guy, and then Kyle Farrell just absolutely smokes the ball into the gap, clears the bases with a 3-run triple, and I'd say that's definitely the momentum swinger for that game and the next game to kind of pull us back. We're now only down 4, nobody out, still a man on third, and all the momentum in our favor. And those guys kind of got shell shocked that they weren't 4 outs away or 6 outs away anymore from the World Series. They had quite an uphill battle now to calm us down.
Yeah, you mentioned momentum, which obviously plays a big part in it. Did you guys make any changes specifically, or any differences, the second time and third time you played them, that, changed the result for you guys?
I would just say, first game, we won our first one against SUNY Oneonta. We're all hyped up. We kind of get put back in our place that first game, and then it was just playing Siena baseball and not getting ahead of ourselves, picking each other up, making sure that everybody's got each other's back and not getting down on each other in the dugout. Just saying we belong here and we're just as good or better than everybody else that was there. And so just kind of staying within ourselves, everybody doing their own job, making it an 18-guy team instead of a 1-guy team. Everybody coming up, so just staying together and working together made it possible to come back both times.
Outstanding. I didn't realize there was that much drama, that much come behind grit in your regional
During a snowstorm.
during a snowstorm.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a picture, or at least
I do on my
have an
phone. I should
idea
tweet
of
it out,
of the snow that we were playing in, because I've got some pictures that are absolutely, you can't even see some of us playing in the field.
Yeah, we woke up, it was 27 degrees the first pitch, and it was a snowstorm to the point where you could barely see. So, it was exciting baseball, but it was some crazy conditions, which just kind of added to the storyline, I guess.
Well, that's awesome. The more layers to the story you can add, it just makes for a better experience and more memories to make it all soak in. And I gotta step in real quick. I gotta correct Eric on something, because he said that that trip up to Boston, fly to Kansas City, drive to Pittsburgh, isn't going to be fun. It's gonna be awesome. If you guys wear your Siena Club baseball shirts, you all roll through through Logan Airport, all decked out in Siena gear, people are going to want to, what's your story? Who are you guys? Where are you going? Well, we're going to the World Series. People are going to be buying you combos in the gift shop and
Combos.
And we're going with combos.
Okay.
So because they got a game to play, they can't have any adult beverages on the way to
Correct.
Kansas.
Yep.
It's a business trip for us. Definitely a business.
Good.
There
Bring the
you go.
briefcase, wear the suit. Yep.
It's you guys are going to have a blast. And But I want to talk about your opening round matchup because it's a very unique matchup. You square off with Pittsburgh State, who happens to be located 1.5 miles
Not
from
even.
the stadium.
If that.
I mean,
If you look at how far we are, I think we might be a little farther.
yeah, you might be a little farther. Do you have a grasp yet on like how well you guys are going to travel in terms of parents, girlfriends, friends, things like that?
Probably not as well as they're going to travel, which is why we're super excited. You know, a lot of our games we get 20, 30 people max. When we're home, we get a good amount of people to come watch us, but we're really hoping because it's the World and because they're home that first game is going to be rocking and it's going to be an awesome atmosphere to play baseball in.
Yeah, I think it might be a hostile crowd. It might be rocking and rolling, and we'll have. I can't wait for it to happen. What time? We're talking 1 o'clock Friday
1 o'clock,
afternoon.
Yeah, 1 o'clock on Friday.
Hey, time to take a half day from work and come out to the ballpark. I think we're going to get a lot of Pittsburgh natives out there, so it should be fun. So I think you guys will have a blast out there.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the Pitt State game, obviously you don't want to look too far ahead, but are there any teams within the bracket that you'd be excited to play, no matter when you play them? I don't know if anybody kind of stuck out to you guys.
I mean, San Diego State, just because that's a West Coast team. That's a far team. It's always cool to play somebody you're never going to get to play locally. And then, of course, California University of PA is number 1 team undefeated in the country. We'd love to play them and see how we can do against them. They've had an unreal season. And, just anything, you got to beat the best to be the best. So we would definitely love to see those teams further on the bracket. I know I think we'll see Cal PA in the second round if we both win. So that'd be a great game to be able to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got to take one game at a time. If you guys didn't learn anything from the regional, definitely that. You definitely learned it. So kudos to you. And we're excited to have you guys down in Kansas.
Do any insight yet on your opening day starter?
It's going to be our normal number 1 pitcher, Mark Rodriguez. I think he threw 10 innings for us. He won the opening game and then came in against Binghamton. Gave us 3 innings. So he's our big game pitcher. He's our rock. So you'll definitely expect a lefty from us. Game 1, Mark Rodriguez. He's gonna give it his all as he always does.
All right.
Yeah, now that the snow's cleared up, how you guys been? Have you guys been getting outside, practicing? Taking some BP. What have you guys been doing to kind of keep that momentum going? I guess from the regional.
Yeah, I mean it's nice outside. We all went home at the end of last week, so for this week everybody's just swinging inside and doing work on their own because we have to go home from school for a little. But before that, it was night outside, just normal stuff, normal practices, trying to stay fresh, but not try to overwork everybody. Guys got to keep their arms loose. We've been playing for like 9 months now, so guys are a little banged up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Do you have anything, Sandy?
No, that's it. We'll see you. We'll see you at the coaches meeting.
Yeah,
Thursday.
it was a night. Safe travels to you
Absolutely.
guys.
Nice to see you guys there.
All right, my man. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah, that's exciting for them. That regional was crazy, and I was personally there. It was a snowstorm. Actually, I was telling, I think, Alex in the office, Friday I got a sunburn. Saturday I got rained on the whole day, and then Sunday I got snowed on the whole day. So it was a crazy, crazy regional. They earned it. They really did. They're a good little ball club.
Cool.
Sure.
Cool. And I didn't realize that they'd gone through they got 10 run in one game, then were down 8 and came from behind.
Both
That's-
games they were down 8 too when they came back, which was
The
crazy.
if necessary game, they were down 8
Yeah,
as
when
well.
they double dipped Binghamton, they were down by 8 in both games. So
Wow.
for sure. So.
Well, I look forward to seeing them play on Friday. So-
Yeah, let's switch things up a little bit. We'll talk to D1. I know Christian isn't here. He just had his regionals this past weekend.
Yep.
How did those go?
They went, apparently they went well. There were a little bit of craziness, of course. There's always some hiccups. The North Atlantic had severe weather coming through the Philadelphia area on Sunday, so they had to compress the tournament into a Friday-Saturday deal, and they were able to pull it off. Penn State was able to defeat Drexel. Penn State went 3-0 in the tournament. I think Drexel was their big competitor. I think they had a 1-0 game in the second round of the tournament. So Penn State won that, going back to Holly Springs. One of only 2 teams returning from last year. Out on the West Coast, had a very unique situation out at
Lancaster.
Lancaster, Lancaster,
California.
Lancaster, California. Apparently, there was an active shooter in a school in the area, so they shut down the whole county and all the schools, including the campus that we were using for the tournament. So nothing was allowed to be played Friday. So even though the weather was great, couldn't play. So again, that had to get compressed to a Saturday, Sunday only tournament. And Grand Canyon comes back, double dips Santa Barbara to win it and clinch their first trip to the World Series. So congratulations to them. And we're going to talk to their head coach Rich here in a little bit. They're the only team coming this year to the World Series that's never been before. They're the
awesome.
rookies to
Good for
the
them.
World Series. So excited to see what they bring to the table. Up in the Great Lakes, Battle Creek, Michigan, apparently had rain all weekend long. I think they played one game in Battle Creek on Friday. Game 2 got rained out. All of Saturday was a wash. All of Sunday was a wash. So they moved to Adrian College,
Fully turf
turf facility to get everything played. So they had to commute a little bit to get to the field, but the games got played.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Wisconsin, won it. So the Fighting Blocks will be back in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Will be in North Carolina. This will be their first trip to North Carolina, but they've been to many World Series over the years. Looking forward to see what the Badgers bring to the show there. They held off a tough Michigan State team who had made the World Series last year. Was trying to get back there again. Northern Pacific, Oregon seemed to just take care of business out there. Up in Boise. And you're going to see them back at the World Series. They missed last year, but were there twice in Paducah, including winning one in Paducah. Mid-America, Topeka, Kansas. Iowa State comes back, double dips Mizzou.
Yep.
Mizzou comes out and wins their opening game.
Regional. Colorado State was in that too, I believe.
Yep. Mizzou beats Colorado State in the second round. Iowa State knocks off Colorado State, which they did a couple years ago when Iowa State made it to their first World Series back in Paducah. Then Iowa State goes through and double dips Mizzou twice to punch their ticket back. And there's another squad that's got a huge Twitter following.
Yeah, they're
I don't know.
active.
I don't know if it's because they don't have a varsity baseball team or what, but their tweets are often and very well graphically done. So somebody's putting some time into their Twitter account, so it's impressive. Down in Texas, we've got Texas A&M. I believe ran the table down there. Down in the South Atlantic, Florida State. UCF made a good run at them. UCF got knocked to the losers bracket early by Alabama. Alabama got knocked back. UCF knocked them off, and then it sounded like a battle just short of Florida State there. ECU pretty much took care of business in the Mid-Atlantic. I think they faced Maryland in the opening game, and it was a tight game. I think 5-2, I believe, was the score. And then another tight ball game with Ohio State in the second round, and then always seems for Ohio State they can't catch a break. Their Friday night game got rained out, so they had to play Virginia Tech Saturday morning. They win, and what do they get? They end up having a doubleheader that day against ECU, who got a good night's sleep. Who got a good night's sleep.
Yep.
Ohio State falls to ECU, and then that same night has to play the third game of the day against Maryland, and gets eliminated.
Catches up to you. Sorry, Chadlow.
Yes. So, and am I missing one?
I think that's it. Touched them all, right?
1, 2. Yeah, I think so. So there we go. So those are our 8 teams. We got Penn State, ECU, Florida State, Wisconsin, Iowa State, Texas A&M, Oregon, and Grand Canyon. So this is Grand Canyon's first ever D1 World Series appearance. So we're excited about that. ECU holds on to their number 1 ranking in the polls, where they've been. They're trying to go curtain to curtain with the number 1 ranking. And
just to touch real quick, sorry to jump in. We're getting a lot of questions on Twitter, Facebook. Why isn't ECU the number 1 seed, number 1 team in the country? It's a formula. It's conference win percentage, overall win percentage, games played, top 20 poll. A lot of things go into it. It's
and Oregon has almost quietly had an amazing season.
Yeah,
they didn't start ranked super high, but undefeated in conference play, rolled through regionals. Played a lot of games, won a lot of games, have a much higher win percentage. ECU, the fact that they dropped the conference game
Hurt him. Yeah.
hurt them in the seeding formulas. They no longer had they weren't undefeated in conference play, which is 25% of the seeding process. So Oregon sits at number 2 in the polls and grabbed the number 1 seed at the World Series. So very interesting to see how that shakes out. But let me read you our World Series bracket opening up. Game 1 is Friday at 10:30. We got number 3 Florida State versus number 6 Iowa State. At 2:45 on Friday, Game 2, we got Penn State versus ECU. Two teams that have faced each other basically every year since eternity. Yeah. Or at least since the invention of the baseball. And ECU got a state earlier in the season during some non-conference games.
Close games, though.
Close games, and to Penn State's credit, that's always their first trip outside of the season. Their first chance to get outside in the spring is they go to ECU on their way to spring break.
And ECU's been outside
for weeks.
Yeah.
And then the night game on Friday, we got number 1 Oregon versus number 8 Texas A&M. And then the Saturday morning game, number 4 Grand Canyon versus number 5 Wisconsin, which I think is going to be a very interesting game. I always like to see what Wisconsin, the Badgers bring. Block's always got his guys prepared, usually a gritty, scrappy. But Grand Canyon, don't know what we're getting out of them. But,
could be a good or a bad.
But they beat some big, highly ranked teams at the regional. So they've been having some good seasons in the past, and this is the year they were able to put it all together and win the region. So looking forward to see what they're bringing to the table.
Yeah, we're going to get Rich on the phone here and interview him real quick. Exciting time for them. I know he's very passionate, very involved. He's great to work with, so it's good to see them succeed on the field as well. So I'm sure he's going to tell us all the same things too. So we're excited for him.
All right, there he is. Rich, this is Sandy and Eric. Welcome to Suite 301.
Hey, good to be here. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well. It's just kind of spinning, the last 40 hours of craziness trying to get us ready to go for those World Series now.
I can imagine.
Well, let's talk to us. I mean, your team has been on the radar for a couple seasons now. They've been ranked. They're getting respect in the polls. They've made this the year you've been able to get over the hump, get past that, get that regional title in your back pocket. How were you able to accomplish that this year?
You know what? We kind of get some older, mature players. I've been going. This is our 3rd year in the club, National Club Baseball Association, and we got seniors that have carried us on the offensive and defensive parts. And when you get a few guys that come in to campus that transfer from community college and a couple freshmen on the hill that can throw a little bit, it's just kind of all came together this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rich, real quick, just talk about the the schedule change that happened with the regional this weekend. Obviously, anything sitting around on a perfectly nice day, but obviously different circumstances there. Did that throw you guys for a loop? Did that change anything? How did you guys work around that?
And that's a tough thing because we came in on Thursday and gave us another day to almost sit and wait. I told my guys, and my guys are in full uniform, ready to go to the field when the shooting 10 miles down the road took place and all the campuses ended up getting closed. It was tough. We had also had a probably 2.5 week break from playing a game. So I don't want to make that as an excuse, but, game 1 was kind of, hey, we're playing the game again, and it took us a little bit to get going. But ultimately, when we lose game 1, it's only 7 and 9 games. It probably helped us a little bit.
Right. Yeah, because you didn't burn as many arms in that loss, so you got to keep a few innings in the back pocket to that you were obviously going to need coming through the losers bracket.
Yeah, definitely. It was playing 2 games we expected on Saturday, but end up having to. We're glad they were 7 and not 9.
Right. What's you face some major competition out there? I mean, Cal Poly has been a good team in the league for a long time. Santa Barbara has been to the World Series before. Were you what you got from them, or do you feel like you got lucky, or do you think you were just a better team against them?
I think all year long we felt when we step on the field that we play the way we play, and we take care of the ball and swing to that. We're the team to beat. We've got the confidence that we're going to step on the field, and we feel that we're going to be on top when we walk off it. So, there's always, when you step in a regional, there's always always better pitching than you expect to see, and we did see some pretty good arms. Santa Barbara definitely impressed us. The contact that they made, and one of the games we got up on them by a little bit, and they continued to work their way back. And Cal Poly, you look at them, they brought a football team, and they're out on the field, and they've got 25 plus guys out there, and they were physical, and every time we would go ahead on them, they would answer back. So that was a battle in that one. We both had 20 runs.
Yeah, I mean, looking forward now, we got Wisconsin, 4 versus 5 seed here. What kind of preparation are you doing for them? Do you know anything about them? What's your guys' mindset for the next week or so to get prepared for that game?
Well, my guys have taken yesterday and today off, so we're rehabbing a little bit. That kind of stuff. We'll get back at it, starting tomorrow night again. And again, I think we take care of business. We always look around to see if we can get any scouting reports on the team, but we're just trying to take care of business on our own and do what we, don't try to change something that's been working for us. So, offense ready and allow our pitchers to throw to some hitters this next week and a half and keep them game ready as well.
I think your players are going to realize that this is going to be a different stage than what they're used to in club ball. Everything from the quality of the facility to the way the game is run and the way they're looked at as participants in this, because it's very hard. You have to have a tremendous season just to qualify to get to the World Series, and they've done that, and everybody there is going to know that. So hopefully, I think what I'm getting at is oftentimes teams that are in the headlights like, whoa, this is a bigger deal than we anticipated it was going to be. So hopefully your guys can put that aside and not get caught, not get lost in the lights, so to speak, and just bring their A game to the field, because we can't wait to see what you guys bring.
We play. Being out here in Phoenix, TCU just built an amazing baseball facility that we've been able to get in their stands. I mean, it seats over 3,000 people, and not that we have 3,000 to show up for our games, but we've been able to play in the stadium like that. So it's exciting. I think definitely have a lot more bigger crowd there. But I continue to try to keep these guys even keel, not get too high, too low, and we just again try to stay focused on what we can control. And but I know guys are excited. I mean, they can't keep stop talking about what's going to take place here in the next week or so.
Signature events of the World Series is our home run DeMarini Long Ball Challenge on Saturday night, and every team that makes the World Series gets to enter a guy. Have you guys selected who you're going to put in?
Well, we've got 2 guys. I think we're going to have to arm wrestle for them. But I know rumor has it was a short porch in right field, so we got a left-hander that during DP just again. Zach Browsley, who's he hit a one this weekend, and he's in the top of the home run list there. He's going to be hard to probably keep out of that competition as well. So we're gonna talk about it. I think the team's going to decide on who we choose to put out there, but it's fun for the guys to compete that.
It is a lot of fun, and hopefully the players can perform like the show we got last year. I don't know if you're aware. Last year, the most home runs hit in the event up until last year was 50, and last year we had, I believe, 120 hit. We ran out of baseball and go start unwrapping pearls that were back in the umpire's locker room to get more baseballs to put in play. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully we have the conditions to put on that kind of show again. So your guys are going to love it. It's going to be a great experience for them. Do you think you're going to have any parents coming out as well, making the trip?
Yeah, we got some hotels going already. I'm hoping we have 6 to 10 families, to support us out there, and it's exciting, and like I said, it's not too many teams that get to do this, so it's once in a parents and families that we can give some good support out there.
And that's you're right. We treat it like it's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, and our goal is to make this experience the greatest baseball experience your players will have ever had. And and that's why you see 7 of the other 7 teams have all been there before and experienced and been able to get back. So your guys are going to have a great time, and I look forward to meeting you, in a week and a half.
Yeah, excited to be there. We're like I said, we're just trying to wrap up plans to get out there right now, and then we hopefully can focus on baseball next day or two.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks,
good luck.
Rich.
All right, well, hey, that's exciting for them. What's their second year in the league? Third year in the league?
Is this they were in D2 first,
They have,
right?
Yep. Now they have a D2 team as well,
Right.
who's also very good. They made the regional D2 level, which is a big deal for them. So, and I've always liked to work with them. They're very organized. It's always nice to see. So good for them. It's exciting times.
All right, so that's going to wrap up our baseball segment. So next month, we'll have 3 baseball national champions to introduce you to, and be sure to keep up with all the action. Follow our Facebook and Twitter pages for all the World Series updates and things like that. D2 will be on Robinson, excuse me. And then the D1 World Series obviously will also have the live stats, but you'll get the live play-by-play radio courtesy of Ryan Norris and the Cold Club Sports Radio Network. So definitely tune in for that. Join the Facebook groups and so forth, so you're with all the action. Or get in the car and come visit us in person, because there's sure to be exciting baseball moments. So
Yeah. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll talk about some NCBBA.
Rawlings is proud to be partnered with Call Club Sports. If your team is in need of any products that Rawlings has to offer, contact us today. Rawlings, the finest in the field.
Wilson is proud to be partnered with Cole Club Sports. Whether it be footballs, basketballs, or baseball bats from Dean Marini and Louisville Slugger, Wilson has it all. If your team has any needs for Wilson products, contact us today.
all right, welcome back, and we're here to talk about NCBBA club basketball. Just give you a quick update on what's going on there.
Yeah, off season.
Meeting a few weeks ago went very well. Lots of good ideas thrown out there. A lot of good questions asked and answered. And then, as always, after the league meeting, a voting ballot is created. The teams got their opportunity to vote on some rule change issues. And
Anything of note?
yes, there are, actually. One of the things, regionals back a week and the national championship back a week, the goal to be to distance ourselves a little further away from spring break conflicts.
Yep.
And that was approved pretty much unanimously. One of the things on the table was to change our regional playoff format as to who gets to host it. In the past, It has been we the idea of the most centrally located team host the regional playoff,
No matter one or two.
no matter where they're ranked, whoever's
three or
most
four, I guess,
centrally.
yeah.
So, but that was not approved. So it's still going to remain the highest ranked team host the regional playoffs. There was some talk of level training. Are they considered qualified enough to do our games? And resounding no to that one.
Good.
So they still need to be high school certified or NCAA, NJCAA, NAIA certified to be eligible to work our games. There was a rule in place about not illegal, but illegal to play games in January because we were having problems with teams coming back from winter break and not being ready to play games that were scheduled. That was not approved to put that rule into place. Basically, it's hey, if they request it, give it to them, and if they can't pull it off, it's on them.
Yep.
So, unanimous. One of the things is in basketball, a lot of the non-conference games are played in invitational tournaments, and often those invitational tournaments are played with a running clock. And so, by our rules, those games can't be counted. So,
Correct.
Lots of games are being played that we don't count as non-conference games. It's now been approved that non-conference. I think it's gonna, basically, it's gonna give us more insight as to how teams are doing in a slightly different basketball format, but still, we're gonna have
More
better
games,
idea
more
of
results.
more games, more results, more stats, etc.
More exposure.
And then we did some survey questions just to gain the opinion rate, how we want to operate moving forward. Kind of, what do they want to see in terms? What are their priorities in terms of a national championship venue? Again, they still said number one thing is that the event is centrally located. Second most important thing, it's a hardwood court. Small college court is the third most important item. Making sure we have the right weekend is fourth, and then we get into other things about having practice facilities was least important. Locker rooms, things like that. So, again, everybody said most important is that the event is centrally located. Talk about maybe doing this where we start moving it around the country. We're putting it in, each region hosts the national championship, and that was, just from an opinion poll, that didn't get as much support. Yeah, because one year you're hosting it in California, and the next year maybe you're hosting it in Boston.
Yeah.
And another opinion, we were discussing changing our format of how we host regionals to be more like baseball, where we host the regional playoff. We select a neutral site, a centrally located site. We've got it set up, before the season even really begins. Is when it is. Everybody plan accordingly. Now you're just trying to get there.
Yep.
Kind of take the burden off the teams of, all right, we're in. Where is it? Kind of thing.
We got to book all the stuff.
Or hey, we're in. Are we hosting it, or do we have to travel? So there was a proposal out there. It would cost a little bit of an increase in dues to be able to put that. And it was received with some support.
Didn't pass though.
Oh, it wasn't a vote. It was an opinion poll.
Gotcha.
57% said they'd be in favor of increasing
Yeah.
dues a little bit and then having us host the regional playoffs. So that's what went on with the basketball voting.
Okay.
So
how about All-American?
Again, first, second, and third team All-Americans. These are based on the all-region teams that were released 2 weeks prior to that. Just something to keep in mind. To be considered, they have to be nominated. Each team gets to nominate 5 players from their team to be considered for All-American. So, American, you think it's awesome. Maybe the first question is, did our coach nominate him? Because if he wasn't nominated, he wasn't on our radar. We didn't even look at him. So, and then we'd start looking deeper into stats. What kind of stats do they have up? What are their statistics on the NCBBA website that the teams are responsible to upload? So, SIU, Justin Becker. From forward out of Bellarmine, Randall Perkins. Forward out of SIUE, Kevin Cox. Point guard, Coastal Carolina, Malik Singleton. Shooting guard out of Arizona State, Jake Pandrock. The second team, center, Arizona State, Rex Graybo. Forward from Brown, Tommy Chase. Natucci. Probably butchered that one. Point guard out of ECU, Darian Sadler. Shooting guard out of Western Illinois, Brock Vogel. Third team, center, East Carolina, Marcus Hicks. Forward from Northern Arizona, TJ Burnett. Forward from Brown, Tyler Williams. Point guard from Brown, Joe. So Brown had quite a few guys on there in the second and third team. SIUE had 2 guys in the first team. So congratulations to those players who had a tremendous NCBBA season, and congratulations on your awards.
Any other updates? New teams? Anything else brewing in the offseason?
We're up to 8. We just added.
It's May.
It's May. I don't remember who it was.
It's on the website though.
Yeah, it's on the website. So, Canisius College up in Western New York. That's right. They were the 8th team. So we're now here. We were +3. So excited about that. I still foresee that we are going to. We were at this time last year. We were a +3 and ended up adding, I think, 40 teams. So I still think we're going to get to our goal of 125 by tip-off.
Next question, is that the goal? 125?
125 is the goal. So working on that now. So.
Some NCFA.
Fundraiser is the official fundraising platform of Cole Club Sports. Teams have the opportunity to create a free online campaign to begin accepting donations in hopes of reaching their fundraising goals. Please be sure to contact Cole Club Sports for more information on this amazing platform for all of your team's fundraising needs.
Motel 6 is the proud lodging partner of Cole Club Sports. All teams, players, and fans receive 10% off the best available nightly rate. For more information on how to book your rooms, contact Alex Kane today. alex.kane@coleclubsports.com.
All right, welcome back. Not much going on in the NCFA this time of year. Just make sure you're getting your non-conference schedules reported to your conference coordinator so they can get them put on the website and get that CFA side. Of course, start looking at new uniforms and things like that.
utilize the sponsors.
Utilize the sponsors.
Prepare accordingly for
Get
the
a
season when it
quote.
gets here. So, other than that, that's our show for the month. As always, tune in to Sweet 301 on our social media pages to a lot going on the next couple of weeks. So
We won't be here, but there'll be a lot of stuff on social
yeah,
media.
be on the lookout for that for sure.
All right. Next up episode is Tuesday, June 19th at 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live. I'm sure we're going to have some great callers from some baseball and softball national champions joining us. So don't forget.
Forgot that was coming.